Hi everyone, welcome back to Nude Wellness. I'm Celina if you're new here. Hello nudies, it's great to be back. Today is going to be a bit of a blunt video. I like to talk about manifesting and the law of assumption. So yes, it's going to be a blunt video, it's going to be direct. So if you need to re-listen to this when you're feeling sorry for yourself and you need a bit of a kick up the butt, then please do. Before I dive into things, my disclaimer as always, your reality, your rules. So anything I say in my videos, these are just my assumptions of how the law of assumption functions in my reality. So take what resonates, discard what doesn't. You're in charge. And I mean that you are in charge. That's the whole point of today's video. You're in charge. So you do not need validation. You need repetition. That's what we're talking about today. You do not need validation. You need repetition. Why do I say this? Okay, the only validation that you need comes from within. It does not matter what is happening outside of you. I understand that there are circumstances that can be quite triggering, but at the moment, I really don't care what is happening. What is coming at you is old news. You need repetition. You need repetition of saying your affirmations, being on your mental diet, focusing on that 4D version of you who has what they want, okay? You need to be doing it moment to moment, day to day, week to week. Repetition is what you need. This resistance that you're feeling, maybe this anxiety, maybe you're like, oh, it just feels like such a stretch. I can't believe that this is possible for me. With repetition, you will believe it. With repetition, it will feel easier. With repetition, it will become your dominant thinking. You don't need validation from the 3D because you're in charge. You are in charge. The 3D is dead. We know that. And there's also a slight delay with the 3D, whether it's 5 seconds, 5 days, 5 minutes, 5 weeks, whatever it is. There is a slight delay. So why are you looking at old things to see if what you're doing internally is working? It doesn't make sense. It's like I've said in my previous videos, it's like that you have picked up last week's newspaper to see what is going on today in the news. And you're like, oh yeah, this is what's happening around the world. It just doesn't make any sense. What you're doing currently is what's going to push out. You need to be dominantly thinking that you either have what you want right now or you are going to have what you want. Repetition is the key. Stop looking for validation in external things. No one can do the manifesting for you. No one can change your thoughts but you. You are the only one who is in charge here. You're meant to be the creator of your reality. And I really, really mean that. You need to be steadfast with your belief. You need to be this unbothered queen. You need to be unshakable that you are going to get what you want. It does not matter what the 3D is showing you. It does not matter. Repetition. Okay, you haven't done anything wrong. I like to say to my clients that if things are like wobbly in the 3D, if you feel like that they're the complete opposite, just see things as it's just part of my bridge of events. It's all unfolding perfectly, okay? You are not able to see how the whole manifestation unfolds. So why are you judging it? Why are you seeing what's in the 3D and you're going, oh, well, now I've just stuffed it. Now my manifestation's not working and I've failed. Why are you making that assumption? Okay, you're only hindering this whole process. You're only making it harder than it needs to be. You're doubting yourself and you're meant to be in charge. You're meant to be God, okay? The more you do this, the easier it'll be. So every single morning, what I like to do is, I've shared this in previous videos as well, I like to say to myself, who am I embodying today? Do I really know that I'm in charge of my reality? Do I know that I can change what is happening in my 3D? You need to ask yourself that question every single morning. Do I really know that I'm in charge? Okay. Remind yourself of your power. Remind yourself. It can be, I don't want to say this is a limitation, but it can be easy for people to, when the circumstances are like in your face, to believe that, hey, like I don't have control here. I'm just going to give my power away and I have to just deal with what is happening in the 3D. That's not the case. Go back here, go back to your 4D, go back to your imagination. Things will change, okay? If you feel you have to kind of ban yourself from the 3D, you have to take a break from looking at the 3D, do it, okay? Do it. Be on your manifestation game. Be on your mental diet. It's not that hard. You just need to be disciplined. You just need to keep going. It doesn't matter what is being shown to you. Repetition. I'm going to keep saying this. Repetition, not validation. The only validation needs to come from within. You're the only one who can make your reality how you want it to be. You're the only one who can step into that version of you who has what you want. No one else can do the work for you. So stop giving your power away to external circumstances. Stop being a victim to your circumstances. Because like I said, you're just making this journey just unbearable for you. Because 1 minute you're like, yeah, I'm really excited. I know I'm going to get what I want. And then the next minute you're checking and looking at the 3D to see if it's working. And then you're getting disappointed that you can't see movement that you wanted, or you're only in your manifestation game for a couple days and then you slip back into victim mode. It's about having that discipline to be like, okay, I'm in victim mode here. I need to shift back into the God state. You should have this, you should be so sensitive to your own feelings and your thoughts. And you should have that much self-love that you just don't want to waste your time thinking of things in an unwanted way and feeling bad. Why do you want to waste your time feeling bad and thinking unwanted things? It doesn't make sense in my mind. You're only here for a finite amount of time on this planet. So start thinking about your desires and what you want in a wanted and positive way. That's what manifestation is. Stop wasting your time being delusional, thinking about things in a negative way, especially if you're having arguments in your head that haven't even happened. Don't be doing that. Repetition. If you're feeling this resistance, that resistance will go the more you keep getting on your manifestation game, the more you say your affirmations, the more you have your inner conversations, the more you're in the God state, the more you're on your mental diet, the more you're relaxing and knowing that you're going to get what you want. So keep going. The only way your manifestation can fail is if you give up. If you give up. That's the only way your manifestation can fail. Manifestation is perfect. You will always get what you want. But you get to decide whether you are going to keep going and keep thinking as the version of you who has what you want, or you're just going to be like, yeah, it doesn't work. I'm not doing this anymore. You get to decide that. That's how powerful you are. You get to decide that. So don't be asking other people for validation. You don't need their approval, okay? It doesn't matter who it is. You don't need their approval, and you also don't need to be asking them whether it's possible for you to even manifest something. You're meant to be limitless. You're meant to be God. So get on that pedestal. You're above all circumstances, okay? Because you create everything. So keep going. It doesn't matter what is being shown, okay? Keep going. You get to decide whether you want to keep going or whether you want to give up. So ball's in your court with all of this. Okay, you get to decide whether right now you want to feel sorry for yourself and you want to be a victim to circumstances, or you want to just like lady the fuck up and keep going. If you want things quickly, if you are ballsy enough to start saying like, oh, I want this manifestation by this date, then you need to be prepared to double down on your mental diet and double down on your manifestation game. If you want to start having deadlines and making deadlines and I guess putting pressure on yourself to manifest by a certain date and have that desire come into your reality by a certain date, then you need to be prepared to do the work. You can't just be like, oh, in and out of your mental diet, 1 minute thinking positively and thinking the wanted story, and then the next minute falling into victim state and staying there for ages and then complaining it's not working and it's taking too long. You're in charge here. I always say to my clients, okay, you feel like it has taken a year for you to manifest this thing. If I were to get a printout of your brain, of all your thoughts throughout that whole year, how much of a percentage were you thinking the wanted story? And how much of a percentage were you thinking about the old story, or thinking this isn't working, or doubting yourself? Because if it's not here in your reality and you feel it's been a long time, you may have had that desire for a year. That doesn't mean that you have been thinking dominantly about the wanted story for a whole year, okay? So just keep going. Repetition is key with everything in life. Consistency and repetition. You don't need anyone's validation or anything's validation, any circumstance to be validated and to be like, yes, this is working. It comes from within. Everything comes from within. This whole manifestation game, as much as you want your desires, it's about self-transformation and becoming that person who knows that anything is possible. Stop doubting yourself. Stop seeking approval from other people. Go within. You are the only one who can decide whether you are doing this correctly. You're the only one in your own way, okay? You're the only one creating here. So you don't need validation from anything or anyone. You really don't. You just need your own validation. Keep going. Repetition. Keep going. Rinse and repeat. So that was today's video. I intend that you found it very helpful. Listen to this 1,000 times if you need to. You get to choose at this very moment whether you want to be feeling sorry for yourself and being victim to your circumstances, or whether you want to like boss the fuck up and start going after what you want. You get to decide that. So coaching, as always, Instagram, all those details in the description below. I'll speak to you then. Toodles. Bye.